So I spent 3 months studying in Tokyo last year, and I honestly thought Japanese students were just built different. Like they'd stay up until 2 a.m. studying, wake up at 6, and somehow still look more put together than me on my best day. But here's the thing, it wasn't about working harder. They weren't grinding themselves into the ground. They were just doing 5 specific things that completely changed how I think about productivity. And since I started using these methods, my grades went up, my stress went down, and I actually have time to, live. Today I'm breaking down the exact 5 productivity hacks I learned from Japanese students. And fair warning, the third one literally made me rethink my entire study routine. Let's get into it. Okay, quick context. Before Japan, I was that person who'd romanticize productivity. You know what I'm talking about. Those 5 a.m. morning routines, aesthetic study vlogs, color-coded planners that I'd use for exactly 2 days before giving up. I thought being productive meant doing more hours, more tasks, more stress. But watching Japanese students, they weren't trying to optimize every second of their day. They weren't hustle culture robots. Instead, they had these simple systems, almost invisible systems that just worked. And the crazy part? These aren't secrets. They're just approaches to work and study that nobody really talks about in the West. So if you're tired of burnout, if your to-do list feels impossible, or if you're just looking for a better way to get things done, these 5 methods might actually change your life. Hack number 1. The one-task island. Method. All right, first one, this completely blew my mind. Japanese students have this concept called shuchu, which basically means extreme focus, but they don't try to focus on everything at once. Instead, they create what I call task islands. Here's how it works. When they need to study or work on something important, they isolate that one task completely. No phone, no music, no, I'll just check Instagram real quick. It's like that task exists on its own island, and nothing else is allowed there. I know, you're thinking, that's just focus? But hear me out. We say we're going to focus all the time, but then we have our phone face up on the desk, Spotify is playing, Discord is open in another tab. We're not really focused, we're just multitasking in disguise. Japanese students take this way more seriously. When they only study. And when they're done, they're done. No guilt, no, I should be doing more. Here's how you actually do this. Pick one task, not 3. 1. Set a timer. 30 to 50 minutes works best. Remove every possible distraction, and I mean every, phone in another room. Close all tabs except what you need. If you need music, fine, but make it instrumental or white noise, nothing with lyrics. Work until the timer goes off, then take a real break. I started doing this with my essay writing, and honestly, I finished a 2,000-word essay in 2 hours that would have normally taken me 6, because I wasn't stopping every 5 minutes to check TikTok. The secret isn't working longer, it's working uninterrupted. Okay, so that's number 1, but here's where it gets interesting. Because the next hack is about what you do before you even sit down to work, and this one felt like cheating. Hack number 2, the yoi ritual, prep time, half the battle. So in Japan, there's this concept called yoi. It means preparation or readiness, and Japanese students are obsessed with it. Before they study, they don't just dive in, they prepare their space, they prepare their mind, they treat the act of getting ready as part of the work itself. And this is what we're all missing. Think about it. How many times have you sat down to study and then spent 20 minutes looking for your notes, or trying to figure out what you're even supposed to be doing, or just staring at your laptop waiting for motivation to strike? That's not procrastination, that's lack of preparation. Japanese students avoid this completely. They have a ritual. Here's the system. The night before, they decide exactly what they're going to work on the next day. Not a vague study for bio, but review Chapter 7 notes and do practice problems 1225. They set up their space in advance, textbooks out, laptop charged, water bottle filled, everything ready to go. Then, when it's time to start, they do a quick 2-minute reset, deep breaths, clear the desk, Maybe light a candle or play the same song every time. It's like a mental cue that says, okay, it's time. I started doing this before my study sessions, and it's honestly wild how much easier it is to just start, because half the battle isn't the work itself, it's the friction of beginning. Remove the friction, and suddenly productivity isn't this huge mountain, it's just the next step. Now, here's where things get a little controversial, because hack number 3 goes against everything we've been taught about work ethic, but it might be the most important one on this list. Hack number 3, strategic rest. Yes, doing nothing is productive. Okay, deep breath. Because this one messed me up. Japanese students rest intentionally, not scrolling on your phone rest, not, I'll just watch one YouTube video rest. Actual, real rest. They have this idea that if you don't rest properly, you can't work properly, so they build rest into their schedule the same way they build in study time. And here's the thing, we don't do this. We feel guilty for resting. We think taking a break means we're lazy, so we end up in this weird middle zone where we're not really working, but we're not really resting either. We're just tired. Japanese students don't do that. When they take a break, they commit to it. Here's what this looks like in practice. After a study session, they'll take a 10-15-minute break where they do something completely different. They'll walk outside, stretch, make tea, sit in silence, no phone, no screens, just actual rest. And then, this is key, they don't feel guilty about it, because they know that break is what allows them to focus during the next session. I started doing this, and honestly, it felt so wrong at first, like I was wasting time. But after a week, my focus was sharper, my energy lasted longer. I wasn't crashing at 3 p.m. every day. Rest isn't the opposite of productivity, it's part of it. If you take nothing else from this video, take that. Alright, we're halfway through, and if you're still here, you're already ahead of 90% of people who clicked on this video, so let's keep going, because number 4 is about something we all struggle with. Hack number 4, visible progress, the power of Miruka. This one's simple but powerful. Japanese students make their progress visible. They call it Miruka, which means to make visible. And it's exactly what it sounds like. They track what they do in a way they can see. Not in some app that sends notifications, not in a planner they forget about. They use physical visual systems. Some students use a big wall calendar and put an X on every day they study. Some use a simple checklist. Some have a jar where they add a marble for every task they complete. It sounds small, but seeing your progress builds momentum, and momentum is everything. Here's why this works. When you can see what you've done, your brain gets a little dopamine hit. It feels good, so you want to keep going. But when your progress is invisible, when it's just in your head or buried in some app, it's easy to feel like you're not getting anywhere. Here's how to do it. Pick one thing you want to track. Maybe it's study hours, maybe it's tasks completed, maybe it's days you stuck to your routine. Find a visual way to track it. Sticky notes on a wall, a habit tracker in a notebook, a whiteboard, something you'll see every single day. Then every time you do the thing, mark it down. That's it. I started doing this with my workout routine, and just seeing those X's stack up made me not want to break the streak. It's weirdly motivating. Progress you can see is progress that sticks. Okay, last one. And this might be the simplest but also the hardest, because it's not about doing more, it's about doing less. Hack number 5, the Hitori Jiken rule, protect your alone time. Alright, last hack. And this one's honestly more of a mindset shift. Japanese students are really protective of something called Hitori Jiken, alone time. Time where they're not responding to messages, not hanging out, not performing for anyone, just existing, alone, with their thoughts. And they don't see this as selfish, they see it as necessary. Because here's the truth, we're so overstimulated. We're constantly available, constantly responding, constantly on, and that drains us, not just physically, but mentally. Japanese students know this, so they carve out time every single day where they're unreachable, where they can think, reflect, process. And during that time, that's when they plan. That's when they study. That's when they actually get things done. Here's how you apply this. Block off 1 or 2 hours every day, same time, every day, where you're in do not disturb mode. Tell people you're unavailable during that time. Put your phone on airplane mode, close your door, use that time for deep work or rest or whatever you need. The point is, it's your time, not your group chats, not your followers, yours. I started doing this from 7-9 p.m. every night, and it's honestly been the most game-changing thing on this list, because suddenly I have space to breathe, space to think, space to actually do the work that matters. You don't need more hours in the day, you just need to protect the hours you already have. Okay, let's bring it all together. 5 productivity hacks from Japanese students. 1. The one-task island method. Isolate your work, remove every distraction, focus on one thing at a time. 2. The yoi ritual. Prepare your space and your mind before you start. Preparation is half the work. 3. Strategic rest. Rest intentionally, no guilt, no screens, just real recovery. 4. Visible progress. Track what you do in a way you can see. Momentum builds momentum. 5. Protect your alone time. Block off hours where you're unreachable. That's where the magic happens. These aren't complicated. They're not hacks that require apps or money or some crazy routine. They're just intentional, thoughtful, human. And that's what makes them work. So here's my challenge for you. Pick one of these, just one. Try it tonight or tomorrow. Doesn't matter when, just try it. Maybe it's the Task Island method. Maybe it's setting up your space the night before. Maybe it's finally giving yourself permission to rest without guilt. Whatever it is, commit to it for 1 week. That's it, 7 days. And then come back and let me know in the comments which one you tried and how it went. I read every single comment and I want to hear your experience. Because here's the thing, productivity isn't about being perfect. It's not about doing everything right. It's about finding what works for you and then doing it consistently. So let's level up together. If this video helped you, hit that like button so more people can find it. Subscribe if you want more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Now go actually try one of these. Seriously, stop watching YouTube and go do it. You've got this. Let's go.